Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. We're wrapping up our fourth cycle of 1994 with a game, or video game. In this episode, we're talking about Aerobiz Supersonic. So, a business management video game where you are essentially in charge of running an airline. You basically will purchase planes. You will like set destinations for those planes to fly to and from. You'll set like ticket prices. You'll have to negotiate with other cities to pick up like slots in those cities so you can fly, have flights go to them. You'll you'll purchase like aircraft, and there's a bunch of like historical events and like scenarios that'll happen that will affect the game. We'll get to those in just a moment, but it's a very fun management game. I'm not very good at it. I've been playing it since I didn't play it right away in 1994, but I think the first time I played it was maybe on an emulator in like the late 90s. I never owned the game in physical form, but it's quite a good. It is a good business management game. I have some notes here for it. We're going to get through those notes, and then we will get to our gameplay like we always do on these. We actually just pull my notebook open here. There we go. So, Aerobiz Supersonic, first released in August of 1994. No precise date. I think it was like April 1993 in Japan. So this is the port here on the Super Nintendo. I think it was also then ported like a year or so later to the Sega Genesis. Original game, the original first Aerobiz was released in 1993 by Koei. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's part of their executive series where it's kind of like a lot of like business management games and stuff like that. Koei was around from looks like 1978 to 2010. And roughly around that time they merged with Tecmo. So I think it's now Koei Tecmo, I think is what it's called. But yeah, basically they merged. A quick little gameplay overview. I mentioned it earlier. You're basically just in charge of running an airline. You choose one of the four eras to play in. There's four different like eras, and depending on what era you're playing in, certain plane manufacturers will be available. Certain manufacturers won't be available. Certain models of planes will be available. If you play in like an earlier era, you won't have access to the more like recent planes and stuff like that. Certain countries and certain parts of the world will have different relationships with other countries depending on what area you're playing in. So if you're playing like during like the Cold War, for example, it'll be depending on where you're stationed, you may or may not be able to access or purchase planes from certain companies depending on like where those planes are manufactured, things like that. So stuff like that does play a part in the game. You will set ticket prices for flights. You will, choose how many flights per week you want to run between different cities. And you will then need to send people to cities that you want to fly into to negotiate with those cities so you can actually fly flights to those. I think you get what's called slots. Those slots if you go to a city and negotiate, I think 3 slots, I believe you get like 3 flights to that area. You're also in charge of building up other kind of travel-related businesses. So you could build like hotels and shuttle services that'll get your customers to and from the airport, stuff like that. So all kinds of like travel, like amenity services, you can also build. There will be times in the game where certain events will happen, which will make certain cities or certain countries an area where you will want to, it'll increase demand of flights to that area. So for example, like the Olympics is one of the events that like kind of happens in the game, and whatever city is hosting the Olympics, it may benefit you to negotiate slots in those cities so you can capitalize on people wanting to fly to and from the Olympics. Likewise, there's going to be other political events that will make certain cities or countries less desirable to fly to. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you are like planning out routes and stuff like that. Be like, well, that country, there's a lot of turmoil in that country right now, so maybe we want to limit our flights to that country to 1 a week instead of 3 a week, stuff like that. So the stuff that you have to kind of keep track of. Got some decent reviews from EGM. Came in at a 7.2 out of 10 for the Super Nintendo version and 6.6 for the Genesis version. So a little bit better on the SNES. Apparently, it was the runner-up in an award for just video games. I think Video Games Awards is what it was called. And it made their runner-up for Best Strategy Game in 1994. I think it lost to Equinox. Haven't played Equinox, so I'm not sure exactly what that game is like. But it was a runner-up for that award. There's a list of historical events that will happen in the game. Let me actually just bring those up. Then there's also a bunch of hypothetical situations. So some certain historical events that happen, and depending on what era of the game you're playing in, you'll see some of these events unfold. Depending on which era you're playing, you may not see all of them, depending on when they happen. But the Summer Olympics are one, and it's accurate up to Sydney in the year 2000. The 1976 Olympics are in the game as well. You have the downfall of colonialism, the ejection of Singapore from Malaysia, the rise of Castro and Cuba, the Suez Crisis, the Indo-Pakistani wars in there, the Yom Kippur War, the oil crisis from the mid-70s or early to mid-70s, the Iran-Iraq War is part of that, Desert Storm, Perestroika, which is, I think, a restructuring of communist government, I think, Berlin, basically destruction of the Berlin Wall, fall of the Soviet Union, retrocession of Hong Kong, the retrocession of Hong Kong to the People's Republic of China, and then also the growth of the EU. There's also hypothetical situations that happen. So after 2000, Summer Olympics will just occur randomly, because there was obviously no way to know where they would be after that. You have other hypothetical situations of Ukraine joining the EU in July of 1998. Again, this game came out in 1994, so these were hypothetical situations. Belarus joining the EU in 1999. Switzerland joining in 2003, EU as well. Russia joining it in 2005. Various civil wars that happen, and things like that. So a whole bunch of different kind of hypothetical situations as well as historical events will play out in the game, and they will affect the gameplay in various ways. You also have various relations between different countries. So depending on between the Eastern Bloc and Western Bloc countries, there'll be tensions between those countries. So like I said earlier in the video, you may not be, if you're basing your airline in Eastern Europe, you may not have access to the American manufactured planes and things like that. So that's kind of the thing you have to keep track of. There's 4 eras of flight in the game. There's a little bit of overlap between some of those eras, but beginning of the game, the first era you have is 1955 to 1975. So if you're playing in that era, the historical events that happen in that era will unfold. The other era is 1970 to 1999, so a little bit of overlap to the previous era. The next era is 1985 to 2005, and the final era, which was all kind of hypothetical at the time, is 2000 to 2020. So that's basically an overview of the game. I've always really had a good time playing this. I'm not particularly good at it because there is quite a bit of strategy in, figuring out, what cities to fly into, what cities to negotiate for slots with, what cities you can use as good connecting cities to other cities, all that kind of stuff. The historical events you have to figure out, especially the ones that will make travel beneficial to a certain area. You have to, for example, if you're doing the Summer Olympics and it's in, I think, Sydney, you're going to want to send somebody to Sydney to negotiate so you can capitalize on people wanting to fly to that. That also may mean you can get away with charging a higher rate on your tickets on traveling to those areas, and then so a whole supply and demand kind of thing as well. So definitely a very interesting and fun business management game. That is going to do it for this part. We're now going to jump into our gameplay, and we'll be right back with that. All right, and we're now in our emulator here with Aerobiz Supersonic loaded up. Let it load in here. All right, let's get this going here. It shows all the various planes there, like the trademarks and all that. All right, here we go. Let's start a new game. So here's our scenario. So we have 55 to 75, 70 to 90, 85 to 2005, and 2000 to 2020. We'll go with this one. So we're going to go supersonic travel. So this era lets us have the B-777 and the MD-11. It looks like the A340. So this is our difficulty. So we have glider, we have prop, we have turbo, that is supersonic. We'll go with prop. So we have Europe, we have the Middle East, we have Southeast Asia, North America. I don't think Oceania is part of it. But we're going to go with North America. So our home bases are these, so we can do all these cities here. So we have Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Denver, we got Dallas, Houston. If I want to do European travel, which I might want to do, I'm probably going to start in New York. So there's our AI there. So we are, looks like MetLink. So we're red. So here we are, April 2020, and here's some news. So our competition has opened these airlines and those routes. So now it's our turn. So what we can do here. So this is our kind of the main screen here. So I think that's negotiate, but this is where you can buy planes. Oh, sorry, that's a route. So let me see where that's where we go by. That's where our shopping is. So you have Boeing, you have World Lease, Airbus. They're on sale. I don't know if these companies are any good, but this could save us some money, at least initially. So we're going to try them. So here's our various models of plane. So from what I remember reading, the higher the numbers on the fuel, the wrench and the fuel, the higher the number, the better. That's kind of like your fuel costs and maintenance costs on those planes. And it looks like its range is 2,870 miles. And it has 210 seats. And looks like it is... So this airline or aircraft, I think, was first introduced in 1989, according to this. So let's... We'll take 6 of these. I don't know if they have... I don't know if the T204 is the only one they sell. Okay, so I think that's the only one of those that we can go after. Let's go check out McDonnell Douglas. So yeah, they have multiple planes. So this has the MD-12. That one looks like it's a fairly efficient model. So it has an 86 and a 79. 60 and 60. The MD-100 was at 86, 79. So let's see, 4,680 mile range to the seats. And these are obviously going to be better on like longer routes. Those ones aren't particularly great, so let's exit. And now let's go visit... Go take a look at Boeing now. So this one, it looks like it's not a very efficient one. It has a good range, but it has a low fuel... I think the higher number... From what I remember reading, the higher numbers are better. So fuel on that one, fuel and maintenance are pretty low. They're a little bit better there. Not good there. 66 and 65. And I think for like international, we might just take 2 of these. Okay, and then finally, let's go look at Airbus. So it looks like the only Airbus available is this one, and probably not worth checking out. So they only have that one, and that one doesn't seem like it's very efficient. So let's see. We've checked out that one, we checked out them, we checked out Airbus. World Lease, and then the only one we haven't looked at is World Lease, so let's do that. Oh, I think I backed out. Let me see here. Okay, now World Lease is where you sell. Okay, cool. Okay, so I think we're good on planes. So it looks like we have slots in... So I want to set up slots in LA. So I think this is the negotiation screen. I don't think there's any, like, I don't know if these different characters have, like, abilities or, like, that make them good. So we'll send her to LA. So we'll get 5 slots to LA. So now we're negotiating in LA. And we'll send him to negotiate for slots as well. I don't know if we can go international yet. So let's see here. So we have... Now let's get some slots to Seattle. Let's go with 3 slots. And we'll send one more person to get slots. And I don't know if we can... Yeah, so this is... Yeah, let's set up slots in Europe. Let's set up slots in... We have Manchester, we have London. So let's set up slots in London. Four slots in London. Takes a little bit longer. So 9 months there. And then let's set up slots also in Asia as well. Let's find Tokyo here. Okay, so we got all of our negotiations are ongoing. Okay, so now we need to plan our routes. Right, North America. Is this our like other businesses we can run? Wait, what'd you say? Okay, no business renters. Okay, so let's... So we can't fly to LA yet because we don't have slots there. But let's... I don't know if I can fly to Europe yet. I don't know if I have any slots in Europe. No slots in Europe. Nothing there. Nothing in the Middle East. Nothing in Southeast Asia. Nothing in Oceania. So let's set up flights to... Where is this? Phoenix? So it's 2,000 miles there. We choose what plane we want to use. Trying to find something that the MD-12, the MD-100 would probably be better. It's a little higher, a little more efficiency. So I think it means we can do 5 flights per week. So we'll send 2 planes to that. Let's do 4 flights per week. We'll just charge the average fare for that. So we have our first route. So New York to Phoenix. I wonder if there's any other short haul. So now we have that route going. We're starting to make money on that. Oh yeah, so we don't have those planes yet because they haven't been delivered. So we'll be getting more planes here soon. So let's set up another route. Let's go there. So yeah, the number of slots basically determines how many flights you can do. 3 a week. Let's go just 5% above normal. That route is going. Alright, so now we got flights going between New York and Phoenix and New York and Denver. Did we get the slots in Seattle? I think maybe we already had some. But yeah, let's go to San Francisco. So then there's the distance, 2,560 miles. Do we have any of those that'll work? Alright, another route open. There we go. Is that Dallas, maybe, I think, right there? Or Houston, all right. Good, there we go. So another route is good to go. Okay, so we still need to wait for the other planes to be delivered. We then also need to wait for our other associates to come back. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. So we have repair budget, we have various budgeting. We're not going to need to do anything with that yet. So that basically ends the turn, I think. Okay, Aerobiz experience and tourism boom. So we should probably negotiate more slots in Europe then. So we have slots in London coming up. North America, we're doing all right there. But the whole thing at the point of the game is to basically be number one in every region, or 5 regions at least. So now our planes, I think, should be arriving pretty soon. Alright, so here we go. So we're number 1 in North America. There's nobody else in North America, though, at the moment. So those planes have arrived. The other planes should be arriving now, the MD-100s. The 747s are now there. So slots are still being negotiated. So it looks like I don't know if we're going to be able to get to Europe yet. No, so we're still negotiating, so we can't get into Europe, so we can't capitalize on that necessarily. Let's do a route. Let's actually just do 2 of those planes. Alright, so we got a New York to Seattle route now. And I still think I know I need to wait a little bit longer on the European slots, and then I think we have slots again, LA and some other areas. Let's see what this is. Sort of budgeting. So I still think we just need to wait, so we're just gonna proceed. So Australia, or Sydney, okay. So now I hopefully should have slots. Let's see here. So now we have competition in our region. Okay, so we got more slots. We got slots in Tokyo. And I still think we're waiting on slots in Europe. So let's do a route from New York to LA. So it's 2,430 miles. Set up that route. Okay, so that's one of the big ones. New York to LA is huge. So we got that going. Where else did we negotiate slots? We have slots now. We don't have slots in Europe yet. Getting to, I don't know if we could use LA as like a go-between. Let's see. So I think we need to create a regional hub here. Oh, that's the budget. Let me go back here. So let's set up a business in LA. So we could do an art pavilion, we could do a grand hotel, catering, we have travel agency, shuttle services, and city hotels. Let's get a shuttle service. So shuttle services in LA, pretty good. And we're gonna go to LA again for this. So I think we should do, so there's a grand hotel, that, a city hotel, which is 54,000, or 218,000 for that. Let's just do a city hotel. So now we're trying to open a hotel and a shuttle service in LA. So I want to see how you build. So I'm trying to see where there was the option to I want to build a regional hub, or maybe even originate flights from Asia from LA. Actually, we're having a board meeting now. We're done there. We got our business. So all of our routes are profitable for now. Okay, so that's our regional hub there. Let's get our regional hub set up. I think this is how it works. Okay, I mean, I would rather have the, what's it called, the flight originally in LA to get to Tokyo, but let's get a route going from. Yeah, we just have somebody to Australia as well. So it's 6,750 miles. That is, the MD-11 is a good option. That holds 400 people. That holds 360, so we can maximize the number of people. Maintenance on that one isn't great. So 60 is our best maintenance rating, fuel rating. Let's just charge the average. Yeah, I guess like if you're flying into Asia, it's probably better to start the game off in LA. But also Europe said it's we need to wait. We're still waiting for Europe slots to come in. So we got the flight going there. We got those flights going, and then to send a negotiator to Australia. Alright, so we started that. Okay, let's go to the next turn here. And now we should have European slots opening up to us. And Windy has some North American flights. So we're definitely doing best in North America against Windy. Middle East is still Iranian, or the Iranian airline, whatever that one is, and we have Airwing in Southeast Asia. I think I missed the Olympics, actually. Let me see. Okay, so we got a hotel in LA, we got the shuttle service. Okay, London, we can now do London. Let's do that. So, what is this? That one's actually a pretty fuel-effective vehicle, too. Alright, so we got New York to London going. So, the negotiators are done, I think, negotiating. Go to Miami. That person is still negotiating. They're negotiating. Or are they? I think that means they're available. Okay. Toronto, I think, yeah. What other cities we got here? We got Atlanta, Washington, Dallas. Let's go get flights to... Toronto seems really short distance. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so we got that. Let's do some more business opportunities. Regional hub in London. Actually, I think that's a good idea. So yes, let's do a regional hub. So I think everybody is working now. Let me see. Yeah, everybody is currently negotiating. So all those flights seem to be doing pretty well. I don't know if I can send this other person to bid for slots. That person returns slots, so that basically is like you want to get rid of slots, you go with her. But let's end the turn here. So now we can get into Europe. We've got rights to flights in Australia now. Those other cities are still being negotiated, and I think I have flights going to every city that I already have slots to. But now we can create flights within Europe because we have the hub there. So let's... Oh yeah, I don't have any slots in any other European cities. So she's available. Actually, let's set up slots in Paris. And those flights are all going pretty well. I think this is where we're going to end the video. But I absolutely love Aerobiz Supersonic. Just a really cool simulation game. I think we're actually doing pretty well. I mean, I'm playing on a somewhat low difficulty. But that's basically what you do is you create routes. You can tweak those routes. Send your associates to negotiate for slots, for businesses, setting prices, and things like that. So this is a really cool game. Absolutely love it. Probably going to actually save. Usually with these I don't do a save. Probably going to save this. I can potentially just mess around with more of this later. But that's going to do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll be back again in a few days with starting our, fourth cycle of 1995. We'll be right back with that in just a few days. So thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.